Hey everyone, and welcome to a brand new, super exciting explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining me today because, well, we are going on a journey way, way back in time. Imagine stepping right into a fantastic desert adventure, right as the sun sets over these ancient Egyptian-style tents. We're going to discover exactly how the ancient Israelites prepared the ultimate, most spectacular gift imaginable. And that brings us to a really massive question. How did ancient people give their absolute best gifts to God? I mean, have you ever thought about that? If you wanted to give a gift to the creator of the universe, what in the world would you even bring? Well, today we are going to unpack exactly how they did it. And trust me, it's a fascinating story full of some incredibly specific details. Okay, picture this scene. The Israelites have just left Egypt. They're wearing these bright, colorful tunics, camping out under a sparkling, wide-open desert night sky. And suddenly, God, who they called Adonai, calls out to their leader, Moses. But he doesn't just call out from anywhere. His voice comes from this beautifully glowing tent of meeting in the center of the camp. It is just this magical, awe-inspiring moment. Right away, Adonai gives Moses the very first rule. He says, when any of you brings an offering, bring it from the herd or the flock. Basically, Adonai is telling Moses that if the people want to bring a special gift, it shouldn't just be some random thing they stumbled across in the desert. No, it needs to be a valuable, precious animal from their very own herds or flocks. Now, let's say an Israelite decided to bring a gift from their herd, maybe a young bull. It wasn't just a matter of, dropping it off and walking away. Oh no, it was a very special step-by-step adventure. Let's look at exactly how they prepared this perfect gift by the warm, flickering light of the altar fire. Here's how it worked. Step 1. You absolutely must bring a male animal without defect. That means it had to be perfectly healthy. No boo-boos, no limps, completely flawless. Step 2. You physically lay your hands on its head. By doing this, the person was basically saying, this animal represents me. It showed an amazing level of humility and created a deeply personal connection, making atonement for them. And then step 3. They present it right at the entrance of the glowing tent. Once the animal is presented, this is where Aaron's sons, the priests, who were known as the cohanim, step in for the heavy lifting. They would carefully splash the offering against the sides of the altar. Then they meticulously wash the legs and the inside parts with water. Finally, they'd arrange the wood and the fire perfectly so that the whole offering would go up in smoke. And to Adonai, this rising smoke was considered a beautiful, sweet, fragrant aroma. But hey, what if a person didn't have a young bull? What if they wanted to bring a gift from their flock instead, like a sheep or a goat? Well, the rules were just a little bit different, but honestly just as cool. Step 1 actually remains the exact same. It has to be a perfectly healthy male without any defects. But here is step 2. If it was a sheep or a goat, they had to prepare it specifically on the north side of the altar. Isn't that a fascinating little detail? Then, for step 3, just like before, the cohanim wash it with sparkling water and send it up in beautiful smoke. Now, Adonai is incredibly kind, and he knew that not everyone had herds of bulls or flocks of sheep. So he provided a third amazing option. People could bring the beautiful birds of the sky. Here's how the bird offering worked. They could bring a gentle dove or a young pigeon, and the priest would take it straight to the altar. The priests had to remove the feathers and discard them on the ash pile just to the east of the altar. Then, and here is the trickiest part, they had to pull the bird open by its wings, but without tearing it completely in half. It required so much care and careful attention. Okay, so we've seen bulls, sheep, goats, and birds. We've explored altars and glowing tents. But why did God give all these incredibly specific instructions in the book of Leviticus in the first place? What's the big takeaway for us today? Let's decode the secret messages behind these ancient gifts. The very first big lesson is total surrender and consecration. You see, in a lot of ancient ceremonies, people would actually eat part of the food they brought. But this specific type of gift, called a burnt offering, was totally different. It was completely consumed by the fire. It teaches us about total dedication, giving all of yourself entirely to God without holding a single thing back. Our second big lesson is accessibility with humility. God is perfectly holy, right? And honestly, that can sound pretty intimidating. But he gave the Israelites a very clear, accessible way to approach him. Remember that rule about laying your hands on the animal's head? That symbolized personal identification and deep humbleness. It shows that yes, we can always approach God, but we should do it with a truly humble and respectful heart. So, putting it all together, the crucial takeaways are right here. Number one, offering your best. God wanted animals without defect, which is a huge reminder that our gifts and our worship should never, ever be leftovers or an afterthought. They should be our absolute utmost quality. Number two, total surrender, giving our whole hearts completely. And number three, accessibility with humility, making a personal, humble connection with our Creator. As we wrap up our desert adventure today, I really want to leave you with a massive question to think about. We might not be bringing sheep or doves to a glowing tent in the desert anymore, but we definitely still have gifts to give. So how can you offer your absolute very best, your time, your kindness, your energy, in everything you do today? I really hope you love this journey into the past as much as I did. Keep learning, keep giving your absolute best, and I'll catch you in the next explainer. Click the bell button, like, share, and subscribe.